Oh, and we're back. We're back with the facts of the day about the beach and the seashore. All right, ready to go on a trip? We got a new song. We're gonna sing this song. See if you know it. Okay. All right. I want you to have your listening ears on. Okay. You ready? Gala, 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 gala. Come and let's come together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gala, Gala Island. Gala, Gala Island. Gala, 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 Gala. Lots to see and to do there. All we need is you there. Let's all go to Gala, Gala Island. Gala, Gala Island. Gala Gala Island. Gala Gala. Gala Gala. So come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gala Gala Island. Gala Gala Island. Gala Gala Island. Gala Gala. Gala Gala. All right. Now, the song Gullah Gullah takes place on this particular part of the beach. We're talking about the what? We're talking about the beach. Now, to anybody, let's review from Monday. What's a beach? A beach is made up of small, loose rocks which turn into fine sand. Fine sand. And together they make a shore and the body of water. See the water? It separates. The shore is separated by the body of water. It separates the body, the water. Okay? And the beach is made by the currents, the waves, which makes the water move. So it rips up and goes back and forth, which creates low and high tides. So that's how it's not a straight line with the shoreline on our beaches. It goes like this because it's going to the path of however the waves bring the water up. Okay? And beaches become different colors. They can be different colors. They're not all with the pretty brown sand like that. Some beaches have white sand. Some have gray sand. Some have gold and yellow sand. And some has the brown sand. And some of them have the red and black sand. Okay? Now, now that we talked about the beach, and of course, it has the ocean, which is, you know, salt water, a lot of water. Okay, now today we're going to talk about the seashore. We're going to talk about the seashore. What are we talking about? Seashore. What are we talking about? The seashore. All right, what is the seashore? And what can you find on the seashore? What can you find? Okay, so those are our questions of the day. Okay, so we sung our Gullah Gullah song because it's a seashore. See the seashore? All right, it's a seashore. So I have another thing for you. There once was a turtle who lived in a box. He swam in the ocean. He climbed on the rocks. He snapped that mosquito. He snapped at the minnow. He snapped at and he snapped at me. He caught that mosquito. He caught that minnow. He caught that flea, but he didn't catch me. Now, says seashore. Seashore. Hmm. Seashore. Say it with me. Seashore. How many syllables do you think that has? Seashore. How many times did I clap? Seashore. Two. spell seashore? C. What makes the sound? S. C. C. Eh. What makes the I sound? C. C. You hear E. Okay. Shore. Shh. It's the H. It's a blending sound. So I'm gonna give it to you. SH. Shore. Sea shore. Actually, and it's two words. This is sea. Shore is the other word. So shore. SH makes the sound. So we give you that. What sound do you hear at the end? Or. What makes the sound? Shore. Sh. Oh. You hear what sound? Sh. What makes the sh? Or. Oh. Now what makes the shore? What sound do you hear? R. Okay, so we have seashore. Seashore. Good job. Now, what letter does both of those words have? They have what? How many do we have? They start with the S. Okay, so let's see if we are right with spelling seashore. Okay, we're going to move this over some. Put it right here. Okay, guys, move our seashore over here. Do, 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 do. All right. Now, seashore, the correct spelling is S-E-A, and shore is S-H-O-R-E. So, what sounds we didn't hear? We didn't hear the A and we didn't hear the E. They're silent. Sea, shore. All right. We're going to come back because we have some more things we're going to do with that, okay? We're going to tally it up at the end. All right. And what's some things you could do at the sea, at the seashore? When Miss Trina goes to the seashore, that's where, when I go to the beach, it's where we sit. It's where you sit and play in the sand. It's also where you collect rocks or petals or shells, or you get, what are some things we find on the seashore? Huh, let's find out. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, let's learn all about this seashore. Let's see what we have. There are four types of seashores. There is a sandy shore, a muddy shore, rocky shores, and shingle shores. Now, the sandy shores are where you find, they're covered in what? What do you think sandy shores are covered with? Sand. They're covered with sand. They're covered with sand. And we find these, our closest seashore that we have, that is near a large body of water, is the Atlantic Ocean. Seashores, a sandy shore is near salt water. It's near salty water. So we find salty water near the big oceans, okay? So the closest ocean we have to us is the Atlantic Ocean, okay? And our next shore is a muddy shore. Where do you think we can find a muddy shore? Hmm. Where is a place that has a muddy shore? Well, what is it covered with? Mud. It's covered with mud. And you can find a muddy shore, a muddy seashore near a marsh or a river. Okay? Rocky shores. That's our third one, a rocky shore. Where could you find a rocky shore? Hmm. And what do you think they have? Large rocks. Large rocks and rocky cliffs. So near like waterfalls, or where you're going to where a cliff where you're gonna jump off at. Okay, jump down into the water. Okay. Our fourth shore, shingle shore. Where could you find a shingle shore? What do you think shingle shores are covered with? That's a good one. They're covered with pebbles and small rocks. Pebbles and small rocks. Okay. Now, now that we talked about the four different types of seashores where you can sit and play in the sand or the mud, the stuff that's before the water. Okay. Now, let's start the little game. I'm going to give out some clues and I'm going to see if you can figure out what I'm talking about. Okay. And it's dealing with the things that you will find on the seashore. Okay? Dun, 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 dun. I am a medium to a large sea snail. What do you think I am? And I end up on the seashore. Hmm. And I end up here because, why do you think I end up here? I end up here because I usually die out and I usually wash up on the shore. Or sometimes I'm still in there and I wash up and I'm just burrowed down on the sand and I'm still just feeding off the nutrients in the sand on the shore. What am I? A conch shell. Have you ever seen a conch shell on the seashore? This is called a sea snail. Another name for it is called a sea shell. A sea snail. Okay, so we find a conch shell. Okay. Now, let's see, what else? Hmm. Uh, I'm not actually a fish, and I have tiny 2 feet to help me move across the sand or across the bottom of the seashore. Across the bottom of the seashore. What am I? And I have 5 hands, but I also could have more. Hmm. What am I? I also have another name because I'm technically not a fish. I'm a starfish. Another name for it is called sea stars. They call them sea stars because they're not actually fish. They don't have fins or gills. Okay? And I am an animal that scurries across the seashore and I have pincers. What am I? We also eat them. Well, a lot of people eat them in this area. Hmm. Miss Trina eats the legs of them. A crab. I am a crab. They have a hard body shell that all around them that's protecting them. Okay. Now, this one, lays his eggs on the shore. He lays his eggs on the shore, and then when high tide comes, it comes up and takes the eggs and swoops them off into the ocean so that they can hatch. What am I? A sea turtle. I'm a sea turtle. A sea turtle. You can find the sea turtle's eggs on the seashore. Okay. I live under the ground of the seashore. And sometimes I'm just burrowed down and I have two huge, strong muscles that keep me closed and they protect me in the inside. Also, sometimes you can find a pearl in the inside of them. It's very rare you find a pearl in them. And you can eat these as well. Miss Trina loves them. She put them in her crab boil. A clam! I am a clam. A clam, like closed up. They're closed up. You ever heard your mama say, "Oh, you all clammed up and closed up"? That's because this right here, those two has two muscles, and it keeps it real close and top and closed up to protect it. Okay. Now let's see what else do we have. Okay. Do you know anything else? What else can we find? It's called a sea cookie. It's flat. Do you know? A sand dollar. A sand dollar. And they actually wash up on the shore. And when they can't get no oxygen from the water, they all die out. And then they come up onto the shore and they become hard and flaky and stuff. And if you shake it, that lets you know that you can hear the rattle and stuff in the inside. And they call it a sea cookie. Okay. What else do we have? This thing right here, read about it in the book yesterday. And it eats the fish. It flies down and it scoops up the fish and the shrimp and sometimes the clams, if they can get inside of them. The seagull, a seagull, you find a lot of seagulls on the seashore. A lot of them. Now, this right here is the main thing. Hmm. You find a lot of these on the seashore. A lot of them. And they're part of they were part of an animal's body. And the hard part is the protective layer created by an animal that lives in the sea. But you find the body of it, the protective part of it on the shore because the animal, he usually dies out and then the shell is what floats up to the sea and the what float brings it up to the sea to the seashore is the waves and the currents and the tides, high tide and the low tide. It brings it up and then we find them all along the seashore. What do you think it is? A seashell. Seashell. Animal used to live in the inside, and the shell is actually the protective part that was protecting it. And so once the animal it dies out or something else eats it, the shell floats, comes up to the seashore by the waves, and this is why you find all the different kinds of seashells on the seashore. Different types of beautiful seashells and colors. Okay. This stuff is brought up on the up here. It's brought up by the waves and the current, the tide. What is it? What's that stuff that comes up there and then it goes back? Comes up and it goes back. The salty water. The salty water. And this stuff, we play in it, we make sand castles, we bury ourselves into it, and we put our feet in it with a little bit of water and it's muddy and stuff. What is that? Sand. Sand is on the seashore. Okay. Now, we discussed about the seashore and what the seashore is. Okay? Now, we said seashore has two syllables and two words, so two and two. And it starts with what letter? What makes the sound? The S. The S makes the sound. So let's look at our words. Let's see how many S words we have. Okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many S words did we have? 8. 8 S words for seashore when we were talking about the seashore and things we find on the seashore. All right. Awesome sauce. Give yourself a hand clap. Kiss your brain. Okay. Now, we're going to close out with our nursery rhyme and our song. Ready? Let's do our nursery rhyme. There once was a turtle who lived in a box. He swam in the ocean and climbed on the rocks. He snapped at that minnow. He snapped at that flea. He snapped and he snapped at me. He caught that mosquito. He caught that minnow. He caught that flea, but he didn't catch me. I ran away. All right. Now let's sing a song. We're going to the seashore on Gullah Gullah Island. You ready? Da, 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 da. Gullah Gullah, come and let's play together in the bright sunny weather. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island. Lots to see and to do there. All we need is you there. Let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah Island. Gullah Gullah. Gullah Gullah. Okay. So, I want you to take a trip and imagine that you're at the beach on the seashore. And I want you to draw me some things that you see on the seashore. Okay? Bye bye, Musketeers.